Shalom, all y'all brothers out there. Shalom, all y'all brothers and sisters, and everybody's watching. All y'all heathens, all y'all Christians, all y'all non-believers, all y'all citizens of whoever. How y'all doing? This is a Q&A session. As you know, it says to be apt to teach and always to teach your people and people who have questions and comments. So this is one of the comments that I got from a person, well-learned individual. It says, should all nations be joined together as one, and are all nations equal towards each other? Okay, I'm trying to understand this question, what he's saying when it says, should all nations be joined together as one? Now, all nations joining together as one, that has always been like a Satan worshiping principle as coming together as one, because anytime nations came together as one, it was for something negative. So, and I'll prove it, because it says prove all things. That's what it says. It says prove all things. So I'm going to go to Genesis 11th chapter from the same Bible. This is Genesis 11:1. It says, and the whole earth was one language and one speech. So at one time everybody spoke the same language, same speech. And it says, and it came to pass as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, go to, let us make brick, and burn them together, burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime for mortar. And they said, go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto the heaven. And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the earth. Oh man. And the person who was behind this thing was Nimrod. So in other words, what they wanted to do was, well, I'm not going to go into like no big Zechariah extension thing on this, but it was much deeper than that. So it's a very, something real deep. But anyway, like for example, there's one part where if there's any flood that happens or something like that, they're able to escape it. And also, they were planning on doing something that deals with witchcraft, dealing with that tower. But that's something that too deep that's going to go over people's heads. And verse 5, 11:5. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men built. And the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they have one language, and this they begin to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them which they had imagined to do. In other words, the Most High, He's looking at this. Yeah, all one people. So He already knew that all nations at one time was all one people. And let's see what He did. He said, if we let them continue to do this, what they're about to do, this great big thing that the Most High don't want to happen, they're actually going to do it. Verse 7, let us go down there and confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So it was the Most High who did this. Verse 8, so the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and He left off to build the city. Therefore the name of it is called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth. And from thence did the Lord scatter from abroad upon face of all the earth. So as all nations becoming one, as in this time, no. You have to have different nations, different people. Like for example, people want a big mega church, right? Of all nations. No, when you hear about Paul going around, he was dividing the churches and things like that. It was like, no, number one, we're not all nations. We shouldn't be all together as one. We speak different languages. And if you want to do it like this, if you look at the black Americans, they treat it as the garbage of America. No, literally. I mean, that's for real. It's true. I mean, if you see how the cops treat them, how they put in ghettos and slums, but they were the main ones who helped build America. People like Benjamin Banneker in D.C., Morgan, with the gas mask and the street light, Elijah McCoy, George Washington Carver, people like this. They were inventors, but were treated like nothing. So how are all nations going to become one when there's one nation that's looked at as low? It's not happening today. If you're talking about getting together as one, getting along, that's still not happening. But still, Only that's a very wicked satanic doctrine that's bringing all people together as one. Let's go to Habakkuk, 2nd chapter. And because it says prove all things, right? So it's time for me to prove all things. This is Habakkuk. All right, 2nd chapter. And this is 2 and 4. It tells about this evil person or this evil nation that want to bring together all people. Habakkuk 2 and 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. So this person or this nation of people has a lifted up soul. They're proud. They're like an eagle, like proud, and they're lifted up. But the just shall live by the faith, by his faith, meaning the faith of the Bible. That's how the just shall live. Yea, also because he transgressed by wine. So wine means philosophies. This nation of people want to get in all nations. It's talking about the Europeans, if you want to know. Like the Romans and Greeks, things like that. He's a proud man. Yeah, these Europeans want to travel all around the world and go up in other people's business, then take over. Then they have to speak their language. Yeah, over 50% of the earth today speak a European language and not their own. Hey, and the main ones that speak a different language are the ones that didn't fight back. The ones that want to be friends with them, they don't speak their language anymore. Look at all South America. The majority of the South American nations speak the European languages. Yeah. So it says, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell. So he just want more and more and more. Yeah, and is as death. Yeah, so that's exactly how it is. Hell and death. So this is we already know that the Most High, he's true by doing this. And he cannot be satisfied. So these Europeans, you can't satisfy them. They want more and more and more. So ever since the Roman Empire, they want more. The Greeks, they want more. They can't stay in Rome. The Greeks can't stay in Greece. They have to travel the world and slave people. And it says, wait, but he is never satisfied. Number 1, Habakkuk 2 and 5. But gathereth unto him all nations. And heapeth unto him all people. So, the reason why he's trying to do this, because he wants them to entertain him. Look at the gladiators. And gladiators, by that, gladiators from all nations, all people. So, all nations becoming one, that's not happening in this time. Nations were created to be divided. Alright? Let's prove it more. Deuteronomy 32 and 8. Alright? This is Deuteronomy 32 and 8. So I'm going to start at Deuteronomy 32 and 7. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. So he's saying, remember all these days of old and these years that pass. Ask thy fathers, and he will show thee. The elders, and they will tell thee. They're going to tell you about the generations of old and the years that pass. Verse 8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance. Divided. So it was the Most High. He divided the nations. So whoever want to bring all these nations at one, that's a satanic doctrine. Their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. Because the children of Israel, there was different tribes, and that's how he made the nations based on different type of tribes and different type of groups to be in certain places. Yeah, so they were always meant to be like separate. So I'm going to prove it even one more time. Acts 17:26, New Testament. So this is the book of Acts, the 17th chapter, 26th verse. Now, and hath made of one blood all nations of men for to dwell on the face of the earth, and determined the times before appointed and the bounds of their habitations. He says he made all nations of men. He didn't say one nation. So whoever says that we all together as one, we are the world, we are the children. We're not one nation. We don't look alike. He made us looking different. He made us have different languages, things like that. We're not the same. The Chinese is not the same as the black man. The black American man is not the same as the African man, things like that. The Arab man ain't the same as the Afro-American man or the black man. We are different people. So whoever's saying that all nations should be joined together. Now this is Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. Ecclesiasticus 33:10, also known as Sirach. Still part of the Bible. Alright. Now this is going to get deep now. Like sometimes I got to get deep now on you. That's how it is when you deal with the Bible. Alright. Now, 33:10. This is what the Most High did when he was creating all the nations. Ecclesiasticus 33:10. It says, and all men are from the ground, and Adam was created of earth. And much knowledge the Lord hath divided them, and made them their ways diverse. He made each of the nations' customs diverse and different. The Lord, he's the one who did this. All right, it's going to get deep now. Some of them he has blessed and exalted. There's certain nations he made rich and exalted them. Right, that's like the nation of Israel, which are the black Americans. And some of them he sanctified, which are like the black Americans, the nation of Israel, and some set near to himself. Right? But listen, but some of them hath he cursed and brought low and turned out their places. Like the Canaanites. The Canaanites would be like the bush people of South Africa. It says he cursed them. Whoa, yes, he cursed them. We are all not equal. That's what he says. He says some nations have he cursed. Hey, it's time. Well, we got to prove all things now, right? All right, so I'm gonna have to prove it now, because the thing is, a lot of people they think that this Bible is just made up. This Bible is like man's interpretation. This Bible is not man's interpretation. Now, this is Genesis 9 and 25. I start at 24, 9 and 24. And Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his youngest son had done to him. Verse 25, and he said, cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brother. So he says, Canaan was cursed, and he's a servant of servants. He says it right there. Let me say it again, 9:25. And he said, cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brother. So he says it, and if you read the whole Bible, how Abraham and Isaac, they were telling their children, do not take no daughters from the Canaanites. We can't take them. They are disgusting people. So, and the Most High even says it. Let me go to Deuteronomy 7. To show you all nations aren't one. Alright, it says this. 7 and 1. Now this is going to seem, this is coming out the Most High's mouth. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou go to possess it, and has cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and Girgashites, and Amorites, and Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and Hivites, and Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. Those are Canaanite nations. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter thou shalt take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly. But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, break down their images, cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. Hey, Most High, he telling you that those Canaanites are cursed. Those South Africans, that's called the bush people, or bushmen. I mean, I'm just telling you, that's how it is. Now, it says, the second part was, the guy asks, are all nations equal to each other? I'm going to read the next verse to see if all nations are equal. Deuteronomy 7 and 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people. that are upon the face of the earth. Let me read it again. Deuteronomy 7 and 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Let's get a second witness of that. Deuteronomy 14 and 2. Hey. All right. It says, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God, and the Lord hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself, above all nations that are upon the face of the earth. Hey, that's what the Most High says. Hey, let's get the New Testament. Let's go to Romans 3 and 1 to see if all nations are equal. Hey, I'm telling you, this gets deep sometimes. Romans 3 and 1. What advantage have a Jew? Or what's the profit of circumcision? So what advantage have being an Israelite or being a Hebrew? And what's profit is circumcision, meaning following the law? Much every way. That's the advantage of being an Israelite, chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of God. So everything that the Israelites do, they do better than other nations because they are holy people unto the Most High, and the Most High have blessed them just like he has cursed certain nations. The Most High says he loved us. Yeah, but there's one nation that the Most High says that he hates. Yeah, the Most High's hate. Let's go to Romans 9. 9 and 13. It says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved. Yeah, the Israelites have I loved. But Esau have I hated. A whole nation of people. And let's prove it. Now, that's just not talking about one person. It's talking about a nation. Let's go to Malachi. Like it says, there's certain nations that are cursed. The Canaanites weren't the only ones that were cursed. Hey, they were just one of many. This is one. Malachi 1 and 2. I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet you say, when have you loved us? So the Israelites are saying, how are you saying you loved us? We're always going to captivity and captivity. Was not Esau Jacob's brother, say the Lord, yet I love Jacob. The Lord loves the Israelites. He loves the Hebrews. And I hated Esau. Oh, I thought God doesn't hate. That's what a lot of these Satan worshipers in the church say, that he's all love. And laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Yeah, because in Petra, that's where the Edomites used to dwell at. In Petra, and it laid waste. Whereof Edom said, we are impoverished, we will return and build the desolate places. So they're going to go and return to another place in Europe and rebuild all those desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. These Edomites says the people who the Lord has indignation, a righteous hatred forever. So to show you how the Most High hates Esau, hey, I mean, y'all should know who Esau is by now. I mean, ask around. I mean, it's going to keep coming up over that name, Esau. The Edomites, the Most High say he hates them. Just like the Most High said the Canaanites are cursed. And it says other things too, like it says like, well, okay, I'm going to get, as for all those Rastafarians out there, I just got to get this for y'all. I just got to get this to y'all, just because I attacked the South Africa, we attacked, according to the Bible, the South Africans, which are the Canaanites, which are the Bushmen, and the Bushmen, we got the Edomites, the Europeans, and now there's even one group who just don't escape either. This is what it says. Zephaniah 2 and 12. Ye Ethiopians also, ye shall be slain by my sword. Let me read it again. Ye Ethiopians also, with y'all Ethiopians, shall be slain with my sword. And y'all rosters that over there looking at Haile Selassie, calling him Christ and all that, right? Said y'all Ethiopians gonna be slain with the sword. This is what the Bible says. The Bible is saying this. Oh man, y'all, that's the thing. See, I gotta read this. I'm gonna close with this. Luke 9:26. For whosoever shall be ashamed of me and my words, of him shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he come in the glory and of his Father and all the holy angels. So hey, the Most High says you can't be ashamed of his words. And with that, this is Brother Itazayah. I'm just over